Hi everybody, it's Jess, your go-to YouTube dance commentator, and it's a debut day! How exciting! This is AND2BLE. Thank goodness for the Songhao Taeyang variety content that we looked at earlier last week, because I would have no idea how to pronounce this name besides that. So it's AND2BLE, they have their track Curious, the music video is out, and once the dance practice gets released, hopefully sooner than later, we will be able to take a look at it. It gets attached onto this video and released onto YouTube. I am so looking forward to this. Let's go. Oh yeah! God, this sounds awesome! There has to be somebody new here. That's cool. This is like SM sound right here. This is such a fun song. Da da dum da da. Yeah. It's that type of harmonic layering. Sheesh, guys, that is such a good song. I'm gonna go comment digging. Okay. I'm so glad I dug, because that vocal sounded familiar. It's Yu Sunggun from Even. He is no longer with Even. He is now with AND2BLE because the contract for Jellyfish expired, just in the case with Zero Base One, right? Wow, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Sunggun being in this group, the vocalization really contributed positively to this. It really sucks though that he didn't have a ton of screen time. That's what some of the comments were saying, and that's why it did take me a second to even try to find him. And it was even hard for me to recognize him when I did find him. Does that make sense? So I'm really excited to hopefully see him get more screen time. I think it's a bit strange why we don't, especially when you hear such incredible powerhouse vocals with the ad-libs and the harmonies and stuff, but you don't see him do that. Does that make sense? Anyway, but I really like how this sounds a lot, and it makes me really curious about what we're going to be doing with this. Wow, this is going to get added to my Spotify. I would dance practice if we have to. song has been on replay in my car. Ah, basket runs! No! But the speed change is cool and the visual is cool. Okay. Yeah. See, that's a proper entrance for the dancers. Thank you. We get to really hear Song Hao's vocals in a great way on this track. Man, they gotta stay low for all that. They converted all of that low. I like the intensity. Yeah, that's great. Anybody going to the floor? I don't think they're going to show it. Maybe they will. No, they won't. Ugh. Anywho, the only note that I could give this is the quite clear basket choreo runs that exist. And you may be like, Jess, what is that? Let me tell you. A choreo run is when you're squatted down, running, ignoring tempo or anything in the music to get to your spot and not be distracting. It's distracting, especially for somebody like myself, where we're looking at the dance from a composition completeness and creativity form. That is one of the least creative transitions you could put in a dance, especially when you're involving lots of people. It's been something used for decades now, and it needs to be innovated to a new standard, in my personal opinion, but that's not going to take away from the good time that we have with this track. It is still a really fun choreography. That's my only fib with it. There's more creative ways to get in and out of the shot. We're going to pick our battles, and I said what I said there. We're going to move on, though. I like the speed change and the tension established with our dancers here. Then we all drop to a different pose. I love the redirections, the arms on it, too. I like the conducting stance happening in the beginning, really nice. I like the knock happening with a controlling point, with the isolation drop down with the torso is great. A negative of the fact, like the con of us having two groups, is the fact we don't get to see an OT9 anymore with Zero Base 1. However, something that has been proven here is we really get to see more members shine. In like everybody gets more love on the line distribution for their respective tracks. And I would consider this a booming success at the fact that even though the project group has now dissolved, the project group name and the grouping still exists, and you have every member in affiliation with, Boys Planet in a group, like from a former group, they're in a group now. And I really appreciate that. That doesn't really happen. Like 101 came back, sure, and an IOI, like they're meant to be gone forever. They're not. They've just got, this is just a checkpoint. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, just wanted to make that clear. I like the head with the shoulder on it there. This controlling point with the hinge is really cool. Then we end up knock it. I don't know if we're doing just like an actual jerk, sorry, or if we're doing a pop. I'm going to say it goes so far as we are flexing, but we're not keeping the integrity of the position, which I think is fine. I think it's just to show this fullness or this power in that bass, right? The pulse of it. It's cool. Then they end up rotating the arms. We have subtlety going in with the hands. And then we end up triple dropping it. I love the controlling point that Zonghao brought. The opposition of the slow run, bleeding through, then crossing, uncrossing, sending it back with a turn. Then we slow-mo. Love that we actually get to see him way more in this dance practice than we ever got to see him in that music video. So maybe we'll get more screen time of everybody in the future. This grab is fun. I like the mirroring there. That right there. They're not even hiding it. I mean, maybe, hopefully in the camera shots of music shows or in concerts they'll hide that, but that's a no-no for me. We absolutely could get to our placement in a way cooler way. You know, you could slide on the floor for all I care. Just keep your tempo. Like, that's a really big thing for me. They melted. I love this ripper around. That's gorgeous. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to have this really cool feature focal point moment here. We accent it, we speed change it, and then we're going to destroy all that beautifulness with another basket run. The speed change again is great. That right there, come on. That is, as you can tell, that is a huge, it's not even a pet peeve, it's just do better. That's just where I'm at on a lot of it, is that there is enough time to have choreographed a different transition choice. And that is the only place where we really see that. No, we see it again. To me, it just looks like we were short on logistical time to make a decision. So normally I'm like, we pick our battles on it. I am going to be very honest. I think that was a completely missed opportunity to do something really cool here. Especially on a debut. We should not be doing basket runs on a debut track, in my humble opinion. Maybe a B-side, but not a title. No. Now, let's actually talk about this part right here. They knock it in, they bring it down, and they end up sending the elbow to the inside, and then they bring it up through, and you hear this revving up. So cool in the track, right? Good bass on it. We knock it, drop it, good tension to the chest is fun. Hear you say, and you have this tension body roll, and we accent with the trace. All that's really nice. Send it up with a toss. Then we have more tension. We knock it with a punch on the elbow. All that looks really nice with the toss. Body roll with that la-la, and then we knock on the elbow. So we are syncopating on the bases. With syncopation, a good way I could put it is you are not going on the pulse or the tempo exactly. I would say you are influenced by the tempo, but you are creating patterns such as going on, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. That's syncopated, meaning you're going on the offbeat. That would be an example of what we're seeing here, which I really appreciate. Where the basses are absolutely the example of that. I love the ball change sequence here. Is really nice. Then we play around. That's a polyrhythm there where we're doing a constant lower body and then you're syncopating on the basses in the upper body. A lot of thinking to do there. Really fun. We scoop it with the knock. Everybody's looking great here. We swim it. Accent it with the pull. We are not scared with the accent. All that's really cool. We cross on cross with the pull. You have that la 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 la. So we have more of a rigid weightiness on that with the knee accenting out just a smidge. Looks great. Like the head knock on it too. They're that whoa whoa. And then we do a nice, not even a shamrock, but we just do a pivot of tension. His shoes are really cool. It looks like they're like a little silver metallic spot in the front. It's really cool. We end up doing a scoop knock. Shoulders are cool. Pas de bourrée. Body roll with the accent with the elbows are really nice. The pull away is also cool. So we are syncopating for sure. And we also are having fun accent points of our dancers. Look, all of a sudden we know how to count music. Come on. I know I'm just dogging. And here's the thing. And at the end of the day, that's really the least concerning thing of this dance. And that's also the biggest concern. What I mean by that is it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just a personal preference of somebody who watches a lot of dance, especially in the choreography competition space, and that's always a huge thing you want to avoid doing when you deal with a lot of numbers in your dance. Just from an overall composition, you know, it is what it is, and there's so much more you can appreciate. Like, the pros outweigh the cons here. I know that, and I know that about myself, so we're gonna move on. I'm gonna put that to rest. Try not to be as big of a tiff on it, but look at how beautiful just this tempo walk goes, right? It's so nice, it's so symmetrical and balanced, and I love this reveal in the back. Then we have a nice little individuality from our dancers, and then we bleed it. That's really nice. And then we have this opposition. I like the pass off in the vocals. That's great. Great way to show off our vocals here. We turn face to the back. I like the toss, the switch off between our two. Really nice. And then you have vocal accent about to come in. We drop the level. The accent, I love the fold over of our wrists, and the framing is really cool. It's isolated, it's intricate, meaning it's itemized, where there's a lot of boom, da-da-da-doom, where you can deal with a subtle fixed point of it. And what a fixed point is it's a point on your body, whether it's a position or if it's a body part that's stuck on its imaginary space. Pantomiming and miming does this quite often, and you're moving and it gives the impression that it's stuck in place. So when you're doing isolations where it causes a lot of wrists, you're doing not subconscious, but there's a lot of fixed points involved in it, which is why tutting can be really difficult if you don't understand how to fix point correctly or efficiently or effectively. So there's a good chance, for how fast this is, they're doing pretty good. It looks pretty readable from the slow down moment. See, and then I already said so many things about it. This one, at least, it gives the impression that it's going on the marching, so we can associate it to a pocket of timing, so I'll get over it there. But then we create this tension, expanding it out, and I like just a slide to a transition in a new trapezoid staggered formation. Now, I want you to notice something where you have these dancers, your speed change, but these two up front, they're going to remain pretty low the entire time they're directly in front of a member. And we'll touch on that once we see it. But I like that you have your dancer speed changing here. It looks great. And then we have that open there, and then we punch it. Why are they low? Great question. It's because what's the point? You want to see your members. And so keeping it low allows for us to still see who we need to see with this unified front with your focal point feature in center, but you still have it more of a surrounding integrated formation versus just isolated on the sides with your dancers. It's really cool. I like this swim on it. They got to really hinge over to get all of this looking, right? I think all of them look pretty decent. I like the punch on that, or the interruption or accent there. Good tension on the cross. The punch is nice. They drop it into a V from the staggered formation. It was really clean. La, 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 la. And then we knock it with a shoulder. Hit. We scoop it twice. There's that la la la, and I really like how you have this every other with the dancers matching your members. It provides great depth to the formation, if you ask me. Love it. It looks like we're making two like candy cane hooks, and then you have your V. I like that. The kick on that is really nice. The accent out in, and then we do two pulls. We are not scared with the accent hit bases. So bases are your go-to sound that we're justifying, or the la la las. I like the subtlety in the head knock. We hinge it around. I like that we drop. Good rigidness, good reverb there. It's super cool. What's a reverb? It's an accent that descends or decrescendos in fullness, meaning you're going from a loud to a soft movement, meaning big to little. And then you would have a rebound, which would be equal parts accenting like you're hitting a wall, and it equally bounces back in energy. Reverb is you hit the wall and then it chills out over time, right? So I like the knock on it. It looks like all of our members are controlling the dancers there. I thought that was really cool. So if you notice that here, yeah, when they hit it back in, so they're doing a torso to justify their arm placement. Really nice. They grab with this. I like me a good hand performance. It does remind me of Sung Hanbin, right? Yeah, they accent hitting around, because remember, way back in the early Zero Base One days, they would do a lot of hand performance stuff, because I know that Sung Hanbin would contribute choreographically back in the day. So I do know that they're able to handle that very, very fine. So I like the knock there. The kickball changes nice. They press it down, and then they accent with a kick. Good reverb. They travel it up. They rotate it through. I like the placement there. We drop it low, and then we knock it. A lot of this tension rebound choices also happening, which I find to be really fun. Then you have your dancers go really low to high, and I love how really low they go, so we can still see all the members, but see this contrast in levels. Super cool, right? The pull-in is also really nice. Double bass for days. Very cool. So they end up accenting into an add-on, and then we triple it, and then we scoop it on the fourth. Bring it to the front. I like the switch. We go kickball change. Not really kickball change. Well, yeah, like a Brooklyn top rock, but not even a top rock accent. But we are pressing forward, and then we finish it out with that ball change. Then we pull it. It's really cool. Punching it around with a scoop. Travel it in. I like that the dancers are all going to the inside, and all of our members are doing that boy group directional positioning like you see on the albums. And then you have this travel down with the dancers. This hover down, really cool, very fatiguing for sure. I bet singing that live is not easy. This one was really enjoyable, of course, outside of the one big key thing that I really, really wish on the debut title track we did not have. Once the basket runs, but that's something, once again, I can get over. I really appreciated seeing this. Thank you guys so much for watching with me. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have seen all of Zero Base One discography, as well as Boys Planet, as well as Even. So if you want to see and binge all of that, it'll be available on Patreon for you to enjoy. But there's a lot of stuff already released on YouTube for you to just glean through and enjoy alongside. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what else is going to come down with AND2BLE. I think this is a great sound. I love the track, and it makes me really excited to see them develop as artists in this group. You guys know me, I know you. I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!